Good afternoon. Now it's 2 p.m. because I ended up taking a nap because I was up all night doing that illustration of pain. That's what I called it, pain, because I was trying to illustrate the pain I was experiencing. It, I mean, it was just pain, and throbbing, pain and pain. So I was trying to be as graphic as possible. This is just it's magenta ink. For inkjet printers, it was actually a dye. So this was going to wash off probably by tomorrow. This is going to take a little longer, but and the stuff on my legs, the same thing. I really had to do that to kind of make it graphic. But when I was editing this took me about 4 to 5 hours because I'm really not good with that editor yet. The best I've done is the Colleen Maxwell piece. It's named Colleen Maxwell. There's a couple more up there. I still haven't really got to that point, back to that point, because I stopped. But anyhow, this is well, the last couple of days I've been experimenting. You're reading more and more about hallucinations, and you can't find any answers because today this is what I wrote down. What I found. We talk about serious mental health. We find psychosis and other serious psychotic behavior, serial killer type stuff. All right, that's not me. Oh, we talk about dementia, which is a brain disease of the elderly. It's a broad term that also covers Alzheimer's disease. Well, that floor, that third floor of the Johnson building at Beverly Hospital, most of that floor is for elderly people with dementia. That's what most of that floor is. And it's very disturbing when you see and you hear what happens in dementia. It's a very, very sad thing, and especially it was Mother's Day evening, and it just never stopped. The screams never stopped. The bed alarms never stopped. The nurses never stopped running. The nurses' aides never stopped running. It was just mania, and I hardly got any sleep that night, or I'm sure I probably did. I was probably just exhausted. But anyhow, that's another story. But finding the answer to what happened to me seems to be impossible, and it really does. I've looked extensively for days, and I can't see anything. I see people who talk about hallucinations and see little people 3 inches tall. I mean, stupid stuff like that. I didn't see little people. I saw regular people, and I can describe them because that's what they look like, exactly what they look like. What they said and how they acted is what's different. For example, I could ask someone a yes or no question. In reality, they would answer no, but I would hear yes. That happened over and over again. To me, it looked rational, although I questioned what I was seeing. And all I managed, and I could see the lip movement of a no and a yes. And all I keep doing is to create more and more questions. And was it actually hallucination? Well, what else is left? And the easy answer is the alcoholic detox, but that doesn't make any sense if I look at the calendar. Alcoholic detox, 3 to 5. I mean, 5 days maximum, and that's from really serious, a fifth of scotch type shit. I mean, come on, or 2 days, one day, the second day, or just close to death. I mean, Amy Winehouse just drank herself literally to death. Her death, her alcohol just became toxic, and she died at the age of 27. But see here, that's the calendar. But that all denies all that because I detoxed really. This day, Sunday, was my really end of drinking. Monday, I was sober until the very end when I just tried to get to sleep, and I had 2 or 3 beers. And then I had Benadryl stuff because that helps sleep. And then I had a ton of ibuprofen. But the problem is I just started vomiting. And so I wasn't even getting hardly any of that. And I tried for, I don't know how long I tried that, maybe an hour or so, not much because the pain was just so enormous. So that's when I ran upstairs and I got Jason and said, bring me to the hospital, hurry up. And we drove to the hospital, and I don't remember what they did. It wasn't much. They didn't give me anything to relieve the pain. And I thought for sure they would admit me, but no, they threw me out. Jason said they gave me a shot of Ativan. And then we drove home, and we were home for less than an hour. I said, Jason, we got to go back. I can't stand this pain. This is crazy. So I went back. And then they seemed to be more attentive that time because I don't know if they recognized the pain, but then they started taking more tests. They finally drew some blood, and they found I was toxically low on sodium, and the doctor there said I was a 102, because when she told me I was up to 106, and I was showing progression. And when I found out 102 is for a person of my age is very, very serious. It's close to death. She never recorded 102 or 106. My doctor read 112. All right, so here, you know, HF is holding family. I wrote to here because I was home for about a 24-hour period, 4th to the 5th, and my kids called 9/11, and the people took me away. And then during this time, I had a night terror, and I can't really pinpoint them. I've explained night terrors, and they're horrifying. And then here's the Karen's trip all marked off. She had it before, and this covers her whole Florida trip, which she was back here for most of. This is the Dr. Door 10th, 11th, 12th. See, I don't know these days. I only know the beginning of the 10th when I was brought to the ER. I was brought to the ER at Beverly Hospital. At the night, people were very nice, to be honest with you. But then I went into sleep. And that sleep went from the 10th, 11th through the 12th. And I woke up on the 13th, this 13th. And Dr. Door treated me 10th, 11th, 12th. So I never saw him, but he saw me. You know, he saw me. I was responding. I answered questions. And it was during this time, probably the 11th, that I had an MRI in the brain. Now, you don't sleep through an MRI. If you're dead asleep, I mean, you're gonna wake up. The bang, 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 bang. Because I had another one here that was on my back that finally determined where exactly my sciatica was, and that worked out good. So, although lately, just this morning and late yesterday, I'm experiencing some lower back pain again, which is getting me a little concerned. But my leg is still fine. But I'm getting a little frustrated here because then on the 13th, Dr. Zhang took over. No, not on the 13th. She didn't took over until the 15th, the Monday. They had replacement weekend doctors. I don't remember them at all. And then I had the operation on the 17th, and I was released less than 2 hours later. You know, and then I was concerned when I was released because I couldn't actually walk all the way to the car, and Karen got the car and drove to the front door and off and went. You know, and then little by little I recovered. But since the 17th, I'm trying to figure out these things that, to me, what is today? I mean, today is 26. I mean, I've concluded that they're absolutely hallucinations. Absolutely. I can't see anything else that explains them. And there's no fucking way it's alcohol detox. I mean, that's just an easy, lazy answer to me. The problem is that explaining hallucinations for a person of me, a fine, healthy 57-year-old man, is rare. It's very rare. The only thing that can explain it is kind of in that movie where I was in so much pain, I was in so much suffering, I was entering a psychosis-like behavior, but that was temporary because on the 13th I woke up and said, I'm fine. I'm, you know, Dorothy, and I'm, you know, in the black and white part, and I'm fine. I was perfectly fine and rational, talking to the nurses, making jokes with them, and it all became fun. You know, I was still in pain, but I was getting regular Percocet, at least took the edge off. So I was being treated very, very nice, and I made games out of that. And you know, I kept my notebook, and I thought I brought it up, but it didn't. And it became fun, and that fun was a distraction to the pain that so I took the hallucinations. They're all gone. Somehow I self-helped in this dream state, 10th, 11th, 12th. My brain somehow repaired itself, and your brain is powerful. There are a trillion sensors in your brain. Trillion. I mean, think about it. That's an awful lot. And the number could even be higher. We don't really understand the brain like many people, like you might think. We really, really don't. Funny having coffee now, but yeah, my sleep disorders is crazy. Not getting enough sleep. But that was, I sorry I made the video like it was, and when I was editing the video, I got to the point where this is not happening. That's when toward the end I just went into the black pages and started having the fade-ins of pain and all that stuff to just say what I was feeling, and that's what I was feeling: throbbing pain. And I was also seeing frustration and lack of care. And this was really the early parts from the medical care I got in Haverhill, which was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And to me, it was cruel. It was literally cruel. But that was that throbbing pain. But by the time I got to the Beverly, I went into this 3-day of sleep. And then I saw people who were nice and helpful, and everything was fine. And within a few days, I had the operation, and I was released. And I came home to reflect on it, and that's what I'm doing now. I gotta call it to Dr. Door. He's the doctor that I never met, but he's met me. But he's out of the office today, but I left a message and I described who I was. And he may be, and I explained to them that I don't remember him. So I think he has some questions for me. I don't know, but I think he does. Because I was communicating with him. During the MRI that he ordered in my brain, I refused to have it to go further because they wanted to do some rescans. But see, the thing was they had enough information anyhow. And that was worded really determined. They may have possibly, but it was doubtful. They had concluded. I read the report. They concluded that there really wasn't any brain damage. My brain looks fine. But that's all I was trying to tell. And if you want to review, watch the movie again. If you've seen it, I don't see many reviews on it. Maybe it bothers people. I don't know. But it just describes what I was feeling. And what I'm saying now is just to show you what that stuff is. Oh, the other thing I tried was when I got up to do it, I tried the Gordon Gekko hair. Just wet my hair and slick it back. I kind of like the look. But once it dried, it goes back to my normal grapes. But I got the little remote for the thing, so I'm going to say bye-bye. Go on.